I've been leveling up Marauder. I got to 30 last night, but I didn't end up getting to the point that I did the class or job quests for that. Maybe I should do that first, since like newest girl and stuff like that, and people like that aren't here. Oh, chat, what are you doing? No. OBS, please. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I might go do that just while I'm waiting for people to roll in. I think at least the class quest quest line should be pretty quick. Although the level 30 ones were like the culmination of the class quests are usually like a decent thing. Bringing down the mountain. Oh, well, I mean, shit. I kind of can't not do this now. Having that would be a godsend. Then your confrontation with the beast is with the beast's hand. Kujata has made his presence known. Oh, eh. What a coincidence. Reports place the creature to the northeast of the Red Rooster Stead in the vicinity of the Grey Fleet. There is little more for me to say but this. Harness all the strength you have built through your labors of sweat and blood, unleash it full fury upon Kujato and his menagerie of scavengers. Sighard yet lies abed, trusting in your strength and praying for your victory. The fuck is up with the floor texture there? It's like specifically warping in this area? That's so weird, and when a shadow passes over it, it looks fine. Weird. I ask that you go to the lad before the battle and tell him you'll venture forth to... Hey, newest girl, how's it going? Forth to fell the object of his vengeance. Such news should cheer his ailing heart. The time has come, Eldine Felspark. May your axe strike deep and true. So, yeah, I'm just gonna complete the Marauder quest, because I figured that, since I was gonna, like, pretty much start Stormblood in this stream, I wanted to give some, like, time before, anyone who usually watches me stream gets here. Because I don't want people to miss that out if they're keen on it. I don't know how long this is going to take, but it shouldn't be too long. Actually, I could just... Shouldn't have done that. But yeah, this is the final Marauder quest. So... Alrighty. So yeah, like, I did a fair bit of leveling last night. I want to see your reaction to the warrior job trainer. Okay, we can do that. I'm sorry for making trouble. No, I deserved what I got. It's my own fault for not believing you. But you came back anyway, and now you're gonna take that axe to Kujata's head, ain't you? I know you can beat that bastard. You got to. Heard Kujata had reared his ugly head again and reckoned you'd not be too far behind. I hope you won't object to me lending what aid I can. We've been through much, you and I would see this tale to its end. Hell yeah. Fuck. Bronbar, well, he felt much the same, so here we are, a pack of two to offset the ravenous beasts that follow in Kachata's wake. Might be as I'm sticking my nose in where it ain't wanted, but I couldn't abide the thought of ye facing that monster solo. Kujata's got his friends, so it's only fair if you've got a couple too. And what are friends for, if not to lighten your load? I already did some of the groundwork for ye. Seems like a farmer and his Wayne have fallen victim to the fiend's pack. If we follow the trail of destruction, it might just lead us to the big bugger himself. You find a pot that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. Fruit barrel. Find a barrel that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. You find a crate that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. Yep. Jeez. There he is. Leave the hyenas to me, he says. Bro, I'm the tank in this party. Hello? Fuck. I knew I should have picked him up sooner. Berserk overpowered. Yeah, I know that. I really should have I really should have picked up those hyenas. Because he just wasn't getting healed. He's trying to, like, off-tank, which is... Berserk is the only thing I like about Warrior. Yeah, like, everything is crit. It's pretty good. Especially, in dungeons, it's sick. You gather up everyone and just, like, plow through it. And it just takes one overpower set of crits to, like, get enough, threat on everything. It appears our timing was fortuitous. The Axemaster carried me here so I could see. So as I could see. You did it. You really did it. Where it has crazy burst. Yeah, well, I mean, that ability alone is fucking nuts. Do you see? Aldine killed the beast. He's finally dead. Thank you. Thank all of you. Aldine, do you reckon I could learn to swing an axe like that? When I was bigger, I mean. I want to protect folk too. Keep them safe from, you know, monsters and things. If you train hard, then naught is beyond your reach, young man. Then that's what I'll do. I'll train every single day. You'll see, I'll be the strongest hero there ever was. Saw it with my own eyes, and I can still scarce believe it. You brought down the mountain. It is done, Aldine. You have answered the boys' prayers and upheld the pride of the guild. Hold your head high, Marauder. I shall be awaiting your triumphant return to Limsa. Well done. I knew from the first moment we met you would rise to meet any challenge. I did it. It's funny, like, I guess just because of the nature of this class being very grounded, and not very, like, magical or anything like that, but its tail is, like, really small scope and, like, kind of medium stakes compared to, like, the Thaumaturge questline and the Arcanist questline. That was a truly mighty feat, Aldine. Never ever seen a marauder so dedicated to attaining the pinnacle of his discipline. In recognition of your achievements, I, Axemaster Wernzone, pass on to you our guild's final technique, the Thrill of Battle. This skill teaches you to embrace the fear and danger of combat, allowing you to push well beyond the normal limits of your stamina. Though the thought brings me both joy and sadness, there is naught more I can teach you. May the memories of your time here at the guild sustain you as you strive for ever greater heights of perfection. Experience now shall be your tutor. There will always be greater foes and deadlier challenges on which to test your blade. Of that I am certain. You enter a realm of our craft in which even I have never set foot. I only hope that when you reach the very boundaries of our art, you will return to share your triumphs with us. Until then, Aldine, may your axe ever swing true. Yay. None of this is good for me. I'll take the silver then. Nice. So I'm assuming this quest would introduce me to the warrior, job trainer? Yeah, okay. Wernzone needs an adventurer he can trust. Ah, Lean, just the man I was hoping to see. Aye, it's plain as day that you've no equal in our guild, and I've a task that I'd entrust to no ordinary marauder. To wit, I just received a message from an old comrade-in-arms of mine who now serves as a guardsman in Costa del Sol. It would seem the fighting's grown fierce in those parts, and he finds himself in dire need of reinforcements. Mind you, this man is no white-livered whelp. He can wield an axe with the best of them, as evidenced by Master Gigi Ruju, paying good coin for the services of he and his men. No enemy who could fluster that bunch is not one to be trifled with. I've sent Sulkwib on ahead to tend to the wounded. Seek her out upon your arrival, and she'll apprise you of the situation at hand. Okay. I'm going to rearrange some things here. It's really more of a damage CD, so put mitigation on that. Yeah, and then a long cooldown for there. They're all on 90-second cooldowns. Okay. Oh. Oh, wrong way. Ever the sight for sore eyes, a nasty bale of turtles has been preying on this area of late, snapping and gnashing at everything in sight. Why, even the best men that Master Gigi Ruju could buy find themselves no match for the creatures. Word has it that the beasts have been sighted swimming in from the lightly guarded northern shore. I would send you there to investigate the cause behind their burgeoning numbers. Fell Demon. Excuse me? Excuse me? Ugh, damn it all. Aldine, we must see to these beasts. That might be our, Tristan of, this. Oh my god. I like how I was kind of like, look, listen, newest girl, I know how to do the warrior rotation, and then I immediately fuck it up the first time I'm doing it here. Seven hells, there's no end to them. Prepare to fall back. I'll see to the shellbacks. You whelps try not to end up like as turtle grub. That axe. I've not seen its like in... Isn't that just the same person? That's the same axe. Aline, we must do what we can. Okay. Curious Gorge. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh. I didn't have that set up. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Just had to check something. That should send them scuttling back to their nests. You can call me Curious Gorge. One remark about the name and I'll rip your ugly heads from your shoulders and suck the marrow out of your twitching spines. The two of you are guards from Costa del Sol, I reckon. Not as such. We are the Marauders Guild, sent here by Axemaster Wernzone to assist in the defense. I am Solquib, and this is my comrade Aldine. From the guild, you say? Well, blow me down and call me a boggy. Had you told me sooner, I would have introduced myself with proper respect. You're Aldine, right? We've only just met, but I see in you a strength not found in ordinary men. What say you unleash the beast within and become a warrior with me? A warrior, you say? So it was you I saw, brandishing battle techniques I had thought lost to the sands of time. Lost? Gah, perhaps in these parts, but where I come from, the way of the warrior is alive and well. My tribe has been handing them down for thousands of years. Yet our numbers dwindle with every new summer, and this is why I left the mountain where I was raised to come here. What say you, Aldine? If you would walk the path of the warrior with me, seek me out Hidden Falls. So, are we just going to ignore the fact that, like... Oh. Warriors of old. We've all heard the tales, but never once did I dream that I would meet one in the flesh. My memory is cloudy, but many years ago it was said there was a young marauder in the company of heroes who could unleash crushing blows theretofore unseen by his comrades. When the company disbanded, he vanished, never to be seen again. Might that be this Curious Gorge? I feel like I know that name, and not because of the reference, but I feel like I have met a character with that name in this game. I think. I cannot vouch for the man's identity, but there can be no denying the display of strength we saw today, nor that he has taken a liking to you, Aldine. This could be an opportunity for the ages. Hidden Falls, was it? Were I in your boots, I would head off there without delay. I knew you would come, Aldine. Let us begin. Any man can take up an axe and call himself a marauder, but to become a true warrior, he must prove he can tame the inner beast that guides the blade. I witnessed your battle with the turtles, and I must say that I was impressed. You have proven yourself far more worthy of this than I could have imagined. In your hands lies the soul of the warrior, a crystal within which the deeds of 1,000 warriors from history are recorded. For countless generations, the soul has been passed on to those in my tribe who choose the path of the warrior, to guide them and aid them on their journey. When your inner beast awakens, the runes will resonate, further empowering your will, granting you such strength as you never thought possible. Today there is cause for celebration, my friend. For through you, I have ensured that my tribe's legacy will endure. Yes, it is for this day, this moment, that I came down from the mountain. Yet however earnestly I pursue my goal, I cannot deny the fear inside me that my mission will ultimately end in failure. For you see, while I style myself a warrior, the truth is that I left the mountains before my training was complete. And while I carry with me the chronicles of my ancestors detailing the ancient arts of war, I lack the ability to fully decipher the texts. Yet there may still be hope, for there is another who fled my village, one who shared my dream of passing on the teachings of the tribe and can read the tome. My brother. Oh. Oh no. Without him, I fear there is little more I can teach you at this time, but that will not discourage me from continuing my studies of the Chronicles, nor shake my belief that further secrets will soon reveal themselves to me. Until then, I ask that you use the knowledge I passed on to you, and continue your training. You must strive to harden your will so that it may endure the strain of future burdens. Good luck, my friend. The next warrior question. Yep. Does this character appear somewhere else in the game? Because I feel like I've seen that name before. Like, I could be wrong, but... Oh, fucking... Why does it do this? I hate that it does this. It's so fucking annoying. I had the buttons laid out. God damn it. You're here, you're here, you're here, here. Berserk was on 8. Finds up here. Overpower is here. And now I'm just missing a mount. Increases the beast gauge when landing Maim or Storm's Path in a combo. Alright, so we're not going to get much until... Oh, that's actually kind of disappointing. Oh no, I think it's comparable. Arm's length creates a barrier nullifying most knockback and draw-in effects. That's a key ability in some in-game fights, arm's length. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, negating, like, knockback and draw-in effects is fucking just crazy. Or having, like, a dedicated button to that is pretty nuts. Cool. Good to have a bind for it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so, now, it is time. Oh, hang on. Always going to do the job quests first. Especially when I'm 61, approaching 62. I'm pretty sure, I think the next thing that I get as summoner is, the thing that gives me Ruin 4. Further Ruin, I think. I think that's the name of it. Oh, Enhanced Ruin, which grants Further Ruin. Still in HW story or into Stormblood now? Into Stormblood. I finished the Heavensward main story quest last night, as a matter of fact. Like, literally hit credits as I was like, oh, this is a good time to wrap up the stream. So we in there. Dimitro has the most fascinating news for you. Aline, I've had the most fascinating news. Really? It would seem that the ruins of ancient Alag have yielded up to us a tome containing unknown secrets of the summoner's art. The tome in question is currently being kept under Rambrose's watchful gaze at our dig site in Mordona. I'll be heading there shortly myself, but I would not begrudge you an earlier peek. And that's the same, Huh? Oh, right. That's the same, music that we got for, the Red Mage quest, if I remember correctly. I like how I was like, okay, cool, I get to start Stormblood today, and then I was like, and then I'm just like, what about job quests? I feel like they're more important. No, I did not, no, fuck. Wow. I stayed up really late last night, and I feel like I still haven't fully awoken, which is not great. Like, primarily running on autopilot right now. Ah, I thought you might be along. Here, Aldine, a prize such as this should be in your keeping. We've uncovered it not terribly far from where we excavated the Evoker's attire. I've judged the tome of to be some manner of manual for summoning magic, but alas, I was unable to decipher the writings. 'Tis fortunate, then, that such a task falls directly within Ymitra's field expertise. Speaking of which, would you mind taking the book to her yourself? She sent word that she had been held up by some dreary business in Revenant's Toll. Pray do be careful. Oh. That's not good. Finally got my Dark Light gloves to drop. It's been 3,000 years. Congrats. Oh, so getting your account back went well? By the sound of it? My apologies. A trifling but unavoidable matter prevented me from making directly for the dig site. Now, shall we take a closer look at this elegant tome? Okay, but what happened? Are we just gonna skip? Okay. Oh my. It is rather more shabby than what I've come to expect from the great works of Alag. But it's not to be... Oh, but let's not... Wow, for some reason I keep wanting to say let's not to be discouraged, and it literally doesn't say that. Like, I've said before that I feel like this game's writing is, deliberately, complex or obtuse, which is, yep, yeah, they finally open up to support chat. See? Yeah, nothing to worry about. Easy as pie. Content is what truly matters. It's quite archaic. Yeah, and I feel like I've gotten to in its grammar. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I'm starting to adjust to that, such that when they actually make, like, simple sentences, I'm starting to fall over even reading those, because I'm expecting something more complicated. Weird. Content is what truly matters. A fine observation. Principar at your service. I am a humbly familiar with the doctrine of summoning. Have we awoken a sentient tome from some ancient library? Aldine, we must keep it contained. I think it... I don't think fighting the... It's not gonna... Have I somehow given offense? Strange, for I am not equipped with offensive capabilities. Imparting the art of summoning is my function, and its instructional manual is my form. A manual, you say? I love how it swung into the battle music, and then the second Princip's like, guys, I'm a book. Yamicha's like, oh, that was silly, and it just cuts, cuts right back. Correct. When opened in the presence of summoners, I am bound to awaken and share with them the secrets of summoning. The young master there is in possession of an active soul crystal, yes? 'Twas the soul crystal that awoke you. Correct. Only one who carries a soul crystal and has bathed in the aether of an icon may wield the powers of a summoner. I sensed one worthy of instruction, and was thus compelled to introduce myself. Icon. That is the Allagan word for primal. Excuse my need to clarify the obvious, but you are a construct created to teach summoning magics to any potential student you encounter. Why would the ancients have deemed such a thing necessary? Summoning came into being for the purposes of eliminating beings, specifically those beings known as icons. Primals. Once these entities have all been vanquished, however, new Edgy cannot be harnessed. Old summoners perish, and so too does their art. It was upon glimpsing this bleak future that a certain master summoner set about crafting yours truly. Inscribed with arts of tremendous power, I exist to teach others how to safeguard their existence. Wow, I never thought of that. So, like, summoners require primals to be summoned to be able to summon, to be able to do their craft. And, you know, obviously those ones get stronger because more primals come, but at some point the primals probably stop, and so too does the ability to become a summoner. Fuck, I never thought about that way. I mean, you could still be an Arcanist, for example, so, like, obviously you got the carbuncle stuff, but you couldn't get to the point I'm at. Oof, that is a bleak... That is a bleak future. Fascinating. Your creation speaks to the heart of the discipline's rarity. Summoning harnesses the power of primals for the sole purpose of destroying them, and new summoners arise only in an age when primals are rife. With the absence of living mentors, a true succession of the art is never achieved. Principal, are you then to instruct Aldine in the lost secrets of Allag? I am eager to oblige, but there are certain obligations. The seal upon my higher knowledge can be unlocked. The student must first overcome the three challenges I am encircled to present. Well, considering how it refers to primals as icons, I'm inclined to believe that we have an authentic Allagan relic on our hands. What say you, Aldine? Will you undertake these challenges? Of course. Please. The first challenge is a test of power. This trial is designed to evaluate the raw magnitude of your arcane talent by pitting you against a predetermined opponent of carefully measured fortitude, also known as I manifest a monster and you fight it. Mayhap not terribly wise to attempt that in the middle of town. Why don't we find ourselves a less populated area out near the Singing Shards? I have a question. Why did they give the book teeth? Why not? But why though? Book needs to eat. Oh, we're here. Wait, what? Oh. Shall we begin the test of power, Master? Master? You treat your pupil as a superior principal? Such was the way in which I was written. And if my full name begins to tire your tongue, you are welcome to call me Prin or Pia. Ooh, I rather like Prin. I mean, let us proceed with the challenge. Crushing victory, Aldine. Who could argue the potential of modern summoning after that display? You have bested the first challenge, Master. There are few summoners in Allag's long history who boasted this degree of native might. Furthermore, that you have achieved such potency through naught but the study of ancient wisdom is simply astonishing. With a little polish to your technique, guiding you to loftier heights of power should be astonishingly simple. I thought Aldine's technique more than sufficiently polished, but you say there is room for improvement. I see we shall have to adjust our yardstick for perfection if we are to rival the practitioners of the past. Indeed, if you would know more of past practices, then you need only ask. Actually, I do have a question for you, if you would indulge me, Aldine. Prin, in which age were you created? You appear to lack the technological advancements that were predominant in constructs in the latter days of Allag's civilization. Another excellent observation. I was penned by Master Sari, a preeminent summoner of his time. He was, in fact, likely the last master summoner of the Allagan Empire's reign. Were I to date myself by our culture's notion of history, my creation would have taken place at a point just before the Empire's collapse. In other words, solidly within the richest era of aetherochemical discovery. One might reasonably wonder why this wonderful science was excluded from my invention, and I assure you, there is a reason. In the beginning, the Allagans rose to superiority through their mastery of magecraft. It is told that the very first wielders of summoning magic made do with grimoires fashioned of leather and ink and parchment. There came a tipping point, however, when the mundane sciences began to progress with ever-growing rapidity. These advances were married with the arcane, and a therochemical technology was born. Even as the harnessing of lightning energies gave rise to new recording mediums, techniques were developed that allowed complex arcane geometries to be instantly plotted. Traditional grimoires were replaced by devastatingly efficient and elegant weapons. The convenience of these tools, however, did not lend themselves well to the instruction of initiates. Beyond such considerations, the new mediums could not be pursued without dedicated machinery, and their manufacture was no simple matter. And so the summoner who breathed life into you decided that tomestones and the like were not the ideal method of passing on his accumulated wisdom. Correct. He chose for me the primitive form of a book, and inscribed within my pages a bounty of potent incantations that require no machine to be cast. Thank you, Prin. I thought only to satisfy my academic curiosity, but I found myself swept up in the description of the past. You truly are a creation of an incredible age. And thank you for your patience, Aldine. Shall we return to Gridania? Oh, come on. Oh, Dancing Wolf's back. Well done, Aldine. We're one step closer to revealing a new secret of ancient Allag. Prin will issue the next challenge after you've had a chance to review your studies and hone your abilities to a new level of perfection. I've decided to keep the familiar here at my side for the moment. Even with as many wonders as the Eorzea holds, folk tend to panic at the sight of a fanged tome that jumps around of its own accord. Oh, and pay no mind to Captain Wolf. He obviously wishes to secure my services for some task or another, but we have more important matters to attend to. The next summoner quest will be available from Ymitra upon reaching level 63. Requirements for undertaking subsequent quests can be reviewed in your journal. Performing for Prin. Oh, so spells aren't tied to the job quests anymore? Interesting. Some are. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I guess, yeah, going off the precedent of one quest is probably not indicative of everything, but... Okay. Time to actually begin Stormblood now. Just an hour in, casually. Alfino is a man with a great deal on his mind.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal?
Well, that's a bad sign. Yep.
Seaver, forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
Orphano, a message from the Alliance.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, going to war with the Garleans.
General Oldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly. And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Who gives a shit if you look like invaders to the Empire? Actually, I don't know if I might walk that back, because the problem is that looking like that is going to give the Empire more reason to come down on them, which is something that would not go well. So that's fair. Yeah, exactly. It would give them motive to retaliate, exactly. Yeah, because they're not just a rogue power or something like that. They're what seems to be an entire fucking country, so yeah.
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lys. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
Also fair, because they're the ones who are going to face a lot of fucking...
They would have us act as intermediaries.
They are the people who are going to be facing a lot of the fallout to that, and it would be incredibly irresponsible to just start invading Alamigan territory. Again, giving the Empire a justified reason to retaliate to more than just the Alliance. Because at that point, fuck it. Obviously, they're conspirators.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lys's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am. You know I'd like nothing more.
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available?
As if you have to ask.
Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there.
I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well. I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming. But we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations.
Hooray. Oh.
Ready, my friend?
Yeah.
Well then. Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Girabania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Yeah.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's Toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home.
I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. Let all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate. Together. Just you wait.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
A thousand moms apart, yet united in purpose. Let us pray both our endeavours meet with success. Shall we then? Wait, not just yet. I knew I'd forgotten something important. Lise, could you come with me? Here we go. Me? What now? Alright then, if you insist. New outfit, baby! Someone had to keep up the mid-rift quota now that Minfilia's not here, I guess. That is a better... That is just a better outfit, though. As you can see, I designed it to be light and loose, an outfit tailor-made to the needs of a skilled fighter, like Lise. Hey Dis, how's it going? It's just a different shirt, lol. No it isn't. Oh, well, I mean... yeah, I guess it kind of is. Shit, I skipped... Fuck! I think my mouse buttons are getting way too sensitive. Either that or, like... No, the thing isn't wearing away. It's so weird. Doing okay, probably not staying for long. That's all good. Stay for as long as you like. I'm glad you like it. And with that, I'll delay you no longer. Safe travels. Then onward to Gir Urbania. Our first stop will be at Amarisse's spire in the East Shroud. You can't leave. No leaving. Once you're in the stream, you cannot leave. Before we do that, I just remembered a thing that I should have done last stream. Oh no! Oh, oh fuck, I don't want to be stuck watching this thing the whole time. I mean, cool. Yay! Now I gotta remember who the vendor was for, what's it called? Was it in here? I think it was you? Yeah. Oh, actually. No weapons. Oh, right. Of course it wouldn't have weapons, because, yeah. Yeah, that'll do. I just really wanted the, appearance anyway. Alright. Let us be off then. Whew, yeah. We're starting to hit, weapons should be the vendor on the right. Ugh. Fuck. F is for fuck. Ah, well. All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray inform the officer that we wish to proceed to Girobania. Ah, the signs of the Seventh Dawn. We were told to expect you. Shall I summon someone to escort you to the wall? Oh boy. Haven't moved this in the right direction. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Interesting framing for that.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Girobania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Oh boy, we're in it now. Greetings, Scions. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, I welcome you to Castrum Oriens. Thank you, General. We were relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castrum since then? None, save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols. We've had barely any contact with them, but we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. As if attacking Balsar's wall weren't enough, Illbird summoned a primal right on their doorstep, and Garlemald is not like to let such shows of defiance go unanswered. It was a declaration of war, even if it was not Illbird's to make. And now we are bound by it, for weal or woe. The Scions stand ready to serve, General. What would you ask for us? As stated in my message, the Alliance will not proceed without the support and cooperation of the Alamegan people. We would have you serve as our emissaries and make contact with the Resistance. Consider it done, General. We won't let you down, I swear. Then I'll leave you to it. Godspeed. Hey! Huh. Of all the Castra in the world, you walk into mine. Master Garland, what brings you here? A certain missing Allagan weapon and Draconic Primal. Omega and Shinryu, I think the Shinobi called it. Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which it has singularly failed to do. Then 'tis like Omega fell to Earth in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engaged the stasis systems. Assuming the command was received and executed successfully, the weapon will be of no use to them. Assuming. We should hurry up and find it regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the Resistance. If we want to press on into Girabania, we'll need their blessing. Everyone's counting on us. Let's not waste any more time talking. Lisa's eager to leave Castrum Oriens. As you probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters are located in a place called Ralgar's Reach, an old temple to the east of here across the Velodino River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me and we'll be there before you know it. Oh no. We're in a new area. You know what that means. Slow mount speed, baby! Well met, Traveller. If you're interested in the thing, no. Really don't. No flying either. Yeah. Actually, is that? No, that's definitely... hold on a second. Okay. Our doorbell fell off the wall. Well, the thing that does the actual sound, not the doorbell itself, or the thing you hit. Yeah, and that's what that noise was. I was really fucking confused what that was for a second. I thought it was my roommate. But they're outside, and they opened the garage, and I was like, I feel like I actually felt whatever just happened hit the ground or something, or shake the ground. I'm actually going to take this moment to get a drink, so I'll still be right back. Oh my god. Alrighty. Let us continue on. Being very sad we don't have fast move speed. Yeah. Ugh. What's the... How do you get the second lot of mount move speed? I don't think I've... I don't know what... I feel like I would have seen something about that by now, but I don't think I ever have. Southeast. To buy an item called a grinding map with the currency from hunts. Ah. Great. Ooh, new battle music too. They changed it for Shadowbringers at least? Okay. Still with me? Good. From here, we'll head northeast towards the river. The water's not too deep, so we won't have to swim. And Lisa's already really taking to leading everyone around. Super proud of her. Recommend waiting for the next irrelevant Moogle event. They attach old tomestones to old dungeons that you can use to buy them. Okay. I mean, I'm not really fussed, to be honest, but yeah. Makes your land mount speed the same as flying speed, if I remember correctly. Wow. That's kind of neat. Although, like... Is that really much of anything? Because it feels like you would have unlocked flying by that point anyway. So what's the... Yeah, that doesn't, I don't feel like it's much useful. It's more useful in AWR zones before this most recent patch. That's true. That is very true. Oh god, the frame rate on the shadows. I don't see any soldiers. Good. Let's cross. You wondering about the tower to the south? It's part of Castellum Veludina. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely miles away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving. Can it be flat fuck Can it be flat fuck Sunday? He's not really that flat, but yeah. Holy crap, we're doing a lot of walking. Oh shit, I should be keeping a lookout. 152 east. $58 east. Wait, really? Northwest? What the fuck? Oh, there. I was gonna say, what the hell? I should have been right on top of it. But yeah, like, are you able to get, like, the, increased ground movement speed with, before you get flight? It seems, like, relatively trivial to get flight in most areas. southwest. Okay, well, we're heading away from that. Flight is more important. There are parts of the map that are only accessible by flight. Well, yeah, I understand that, but in terms of the usefulness of that second level of movement speed, like, if flying is just easier to unlock than the movement speed, then... Like, I guess it's nice, but you can just hover, like, a foot off the ground to get flight speed and move, like, basically like a ground mount? I don't know. It seems like you could just unlock that with flight, and it's... Yeah, I just think it's neat. It feels like you could just unlock it with flight and be done with it. We're here. On the other side of this pass is Ralgar's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there is some trick to this? Indeed. A glamour. Good eye, Ishtola. That's pretty good. I like that joke. Like, no one else in the party actually knows that that was a pun. Oh, that was, like, a play on words, but, I caught that. I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks. Or mayhaps an artificer trained in the modification of glamour prisms? Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Galleons. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tataru told you, but my friend Nago, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us, and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way. And, don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. And with the sprinkle of demasking dust, all is laid bare. Oh. Alrighty then. I'm recruiting for the Crystal Braves right now. What is that? Level 50? Is that, that's 2.0 stuff, right? .3. Oh, right.
I remember the old stories. How the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Ralgar's Reach, a holy place, and a fitting home for the resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
Oh. There she is. You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn. The promise of a new beginning. Conrad knows the purpose of your visit and would like to give you a proper welcome. Now, I know you would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let's not do this on our doorstep, eh? Come with me. Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting the ability to mount up here. There you are. Holy hell. There's a dungeon here. What the hell? It's certainly unusual.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Rauger's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalymo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to, I mean, about the mask and...
Don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalymo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monargo told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rolker, it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
It's an awkward cut. Kind of expected them to kind of walk out as it faded away, but it just kind of didn't. Ooh. Starting to get some stuff. Alphino is pondering how best to make use of your leisure. So it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Forgive me. You're free to look around Rauger's Reach, and in fact, I would encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Let us make the most of this opportunity and assess the Resistance's capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside out. I can show you around if you like, Aldine. Great, let's get started. Ooh, I should check on something real quick. Bet you think the Resistance is mostly made up of Almegan Highlanders like me, but the truth is that we don't even account for half. We've got Hell's Guard from all the way over by the Spine here, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nargo. There's even some Beastmen. Well, Beast women, I suppose. Like that one over there. She's an Ananta. Oh, they've been with us for a while now. Well, one of the smaller factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting. Ananta make the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystal into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever go to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them. Anyway, let's take a closer look at the statue of Ralgar, shall we? Oh, damn, snake people. Okay, but... Okay, they're not that beastly. Kinda sucks. Like, their designs are really still cool, but, like, yeah, I don't know. There's way too many, like... I mean, they say in this game Beastmen, but like designs like that where they're just basically humanoids with a couple of features that are the thing they're meant to be kind of similar to. Not many that actually go like big beast, well, mostly beast and not much human, which kind of sucks. I wish there were more of those. In popular things, anyway. Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? Breaker of Worlds, who... Yeah, that's why I went Hrothgar. Yeah, because... Like, they're actually, like... I'm not a fan of human with animal parts stuff. Well, it's not even that I'm not a fan, it's just that, like, it gets played out so much, and it's always the default. It just kind of limits options, and I'm not really a fan of that. Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? Breaker of Worlds, who guided our ancestors to these lands all those centuries ago. Catgirl Master Race. Ida used to tell me the story on Stormy Nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th Astral Era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign. And lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky and led the way to these mountains of Girabania. They who were saved by his grace pledged to honor and revere him, to devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast. Hell's open, heavens weep, for no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. The last part was inscribed on this stone by a monk of the Fist of Ralgar. Or Ralgar. Ida explained it to me. A day will come bringing strife and sorrow that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation, make strong the body and mind. don't know if that storm of blood is finally upon us. But if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through in the end. Sorry, that was all a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. Oh, I should grab this while I'm going across. Oh, I got them all. You've tuned yourself to all the Aethernet shards in Ralgar's Reach. The Fringes Gate is now as accessible as an Aethernet destination. Nice. You know, they call them Ananta, but they're actually a lot more similar to Lamia than Ananta. I feel like this was the X-Pack that dropped the PS3. Oh yeah, no, I remember that. I remember that being discussed on podcasts I used to listen to. But yeah, like I feel like Ananta are more traditionally depicted as more monstrous than like Lamia do, which is basically mermaids but snakes instead of fish. An interesting choice to call them Ananta. This is the infirmary, as you could probably tell. Here's where the resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. They're definitely more Lamia-like. Yeah, exactly. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you the Aethernet Plaza next. It might be to do with the theme here. As in the choice to name them Ananta instead of Lamia? Or what specifically were you referring to, Valk? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. If there's a actual reason for that, I'm interested to see what it is. Anantara, Indian mythos, right? Yes, I believe that's correct. What are the Lamia? Oh, and Lamia are Greek. Oh, okay, yeah, that actually that tracks, because this area is probably yeah, that would fit more thematically in terms of design then. Like, if they're taking inspiration from that, they take Ananta instead of Lamia. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, Ananta must be monstrous compared to Lamia. It's just, it was an interesting thing I noticed, but that would make sense. When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design, dating back decades to when the Fist of Ralga was still here. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the Sutlers are next, but don't forget to attune to the Aetheryte before we go. Way ahead of you, Elise. Arms, armor, potions, you name it, these folks have got it. The Resistance would be in a bad way without brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything, or you need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alpino and Alize are here. Why don't we see how they're getting on? I don't think any of that is useful for me, so I'm just going to take that. Ooh. Alize is nodding approvingly at the Sutlers. Just tanked for the first time in a long while for some people earlier. Nice. Yeah, I started tanking last night when I was leveling the Marauder. It's obviously low-level content, but I want to get used to tanking more since tank is precisely the role they don't have. Ah, fair enough, yeah. I found it easy so far. You've really just got to keep on top of smacking everything in the face first, and then spamming AoE until... Or, you spam AoE and then... Did someone say tanking? Tank smash. Come to make measure of our friendly neighborhood merchants. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. Your primary role is tank too. It's a gamble, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. I've been looking all over for you. We finished discussing your proposal, and we're ready to receive you all back at the tent. I've sent someone to fetch Y'shtola and Kryl, so if you'd like to come with me, or if you'd like to follow me. Big fan of tanking. Yeah. Personally, I'm a big... Well, as I've said many times, personally, I'm a big caster myself, but I appreciate tanking. I really like it in low-numbered player content. When it's like big and coordinated, I'm not as much a fan of it, to be honest, but in dungeons and stuff like that, I'm a real fan.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Of course.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance.
I'm going with Dark Knight just because it fits my Dante from the Devil May Cry series, but it's a bar of cat instead glamour. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what I love about FF14 rating only 8 players. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing to it. Like, having 4 and 8 player content being, like, the bulk of it is actually neat in that way. Fel cleaving is not my kink. Gunbreaker is my favorite to play, but I like them all except Warrior. Oh yeah, I don't know why, but I haven't liked Warrior since Stormblood. I mean, the only reason I picked Warrior at the moment was because A, apparently it has the best self-heals, and B, it would fit the Al-Ra character I built really well, I feel, because her deal is basically, I get very angry and hit thing, which is Warrior. So...
But the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions.
Right.
Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rolga's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree, but it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Yeah, and newest girls had it rough with 14, unfortunately, which sucks. Could you not do a server transfer? I thought those were a thing. Or, I mean, I guess, fuck, like, I don't know the caveats of server transferring and how expensive it is. But it seems like if you just couldn't be on that server anymore, it might be worth... Did you change data center? Actually, I think they did. You can, but it costs 18, and you need to forfeit your house and apartment. Does that mean you lose, like, glamours and stuff, or...? I have other people I want to play with on my server. I had to do that last night. Because, like, what does that... Because forfeiting your house and apartment sounds like you're forfeiting anything in it. And if I understand correctly, like, your glamour chest is in the apartment. Does that mean you lose all of your glamour stuff? I have a couple of people IRL friends that are playing through, and it's like a house plot is a pain to get. Oh, well, yes, that's very true. Like, actually, real estate is the thing. No, you need to empty your housing, storage, and furniture. Ugh. Trying to find a house in Melbourne urban area. Yeah. Yeah, that's, that sure is the thing. Before you can forfeit it. There's a glamour dresser in the inns, too. Oh, okay, so maybe it doesn't lose that. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall. We've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Right now I have my job gear, LOA gear, Darklight gear, and the Artifact 2.0, and the first few primal weapons, shield for Paladin.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you lot. Monargo and Mefrid will tell you more.
Understood. We won't let you down.
Ishgard housing is coming soon. Please be excited. Really? Also, I'm doubling down on Lisa's outfit change. She is super fucking cute in that outfit now. Right then, Minago and Mefrid are to be our keepers. Knowing naught of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice, Haldane. Casting. Your Aether Compass may now be used to locate Aether Currents in new regions. If you have misplaced your compass, you may obtain another by speaking to Gillibrand at the Forgotten Knight, or Galfred at Ralgar's Reach. Oh shit. It's here. Player built. I hope they make a FC, because I doubt anyone but me will have money for a small house, let alone have the patience to camp a sign again. Yeah, getting housing in this game sounds like a fucking nightmare. Familiar face forgotten. Mefrid cannot help but wonder if you remember who he is. That name does sound familiar. Oh, wait! This is, No, wait a minute. Mefrid. Easy if you already own a plot, but getting your first is stupid. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, just like real life. Yeah. At the risk of repeating myself, it's still hard for me to believe that we'd meet again here, of all places. Though I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, eh? Of course I remember you. I'm impressed. Given everything you went went on to accomplish, you'd be forgiven for forgetting all about your time in Quarry Mill. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, nor the lives you saved. Yeah, well, I mean, it's easy to remember when I've done this over the last 2 weeks. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was recovering. Gundobold was my former commander and an old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they see fit. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Uldar for work. But as you can see, I chose to come back to Girabania and join Conrad and the others. I've kept busy since then, ferrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we'll be heading east into the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alaganha. Alaganha? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. That's right. You're from Alaganha, aren't you, Lise? By all means, we welcome the company. There'll be more to it than just asking around, but we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnel to the peaks. Still a couple of wards on Sargantans that are like 60% one player. I love the Alamegan Resistance uniforms. Yeah, they're sweet. I hope we get something inspired by them, because war. Alright, that's pretty fucking cool. I like the horns. Before she tells you a mission, Minago has a few things she would like to say. Okay. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you and the Scions again for patching me up after I bled all over your floor. I owe you my life, and I won't forget that. Furthermore, it was rude of me to run off without saying a word. It's all well and good me claiming my duties here couldn't wait, but a parting thank you is the very least you deserved. My apologies. And thank you. Now, to business. Commander Kemp's entrusted me with a formal reply to be hand-delivered to the Alliance leadership. It covers everything we discussed, as well as detailing the disposition of our forces. What I need is an escort. 1 or 2 men at most, so we can make it to the wall swiftly, and without attracting undue attention. And that's where I would say, yep. Very well, I shall join you in this. General Aldin commands the forces at Castrum Oriens. It should be simple enough to see it into his hands. Great, that's just what I wanted to hear. When you're ready to depart, meet me at the pass leading out of the Reach. Dun, dun. Right. How does Enhanced Ruin work? Grants further ruin upon using Edgy Assault. The Edgy Assault must be an attack action. Wait. So... No, oh, come on. That can't... You cannot be serious. Are you telling me that, like, using Titan's Earthen Armor doesn't give me further ruin? I'm gonna go with Meffred first. Because that would be really dumb. I'm not gonna lie. This tunnel will take us all the way to the peaks. We're on a mission for Conrad to Alagana. Clear the barricade, if you would. Aye, sir. Shouldn't take more than a moment. There are more villagers there than out here, but also more Imperials keeping a close eye on things. We'll need to tread carefully. So I'm probably going to be wrapping up in a few minutes to do my big couple of hour break. One, because I want to get some exercise in while it's nice outside. Two, because I'm cooking tonight, so I need to do that at some point. So, yeah.
I remember the
Oh, man.
of Girabania, silent watchmen that would stand long after we were gone. We came seeking allies to join us in the fight against the Empire. People who had had enough.
God, I really love the architecture of this place until we...
People who had suffered every possible indignity. Who had been treated like animals. Day after day after day.
That mask really does not go with my outfit at all. I really love the architecture of this place. It's fucking great. We have a glamour in place here too, as you've noticed. So far as the Imperials are concerned, there is naught more than a testament to the savage impulses of a lesser race. Remember though, once we leave these ruins, we'll have no glamours to conceal us. The village is to the east. Keep watch for patrols as we move. Alright. I need to test something out because what that description said seems really fucking stupid, and I need to confirm if this is true or not. That, in fact, did not give me ruin. Why? What? Why would you do that? Why on earth... What? I don't understand that. Titan is just shit. The second you hit this level, Titan is just bad. Because you just don't play with... You don't get further ruin. And, like, sure, it's like... Yeah, Titan is a meme. But why? Like... Yeah, I don't get that. Payback for 2.0 Titan, hard and extreme. But it's just stupid. Like, what's the logic for that? Like, my first reaction was that Titan's shell is too powerful in group content. But, like, you're not gonna sacrifice... I don't know the class well enough to comment on it. Well, I mean, it's not even knowing the class well enough, right? Like, with the way pets work, must be an attack. That's gotta be a technical issue. Was that or what? Like, I don't know if anyone in chat actually knows, but was it always that way? Valka's probably the person that would know. Oh no, Dis would probably know, maybe. Actually, no, I don't think Dis played Summoner. What? Hang on. I'm really curious. Why does Titan not get further ruin? using Titan. I'm not I think it's because the tooltip is incorrect. It's when your edgy assault skills deal damage to an enemy. I never played Summoner. My Arcanist is like 27. I don't understand this. The edgy assault used must be an attack action. That's got to be a technical limitation, right? There's no way that they mean for you to never be able to trigger that with Titan. Like, I can't think of a reason they would want that to be the case. I don't see many people use Titan at all. Well, yeah, you wouldn't use Titan for the same reason you wouldn't use a Voidwalker in group content, right? Because, fucking... Okay, so I'm talking purely about group content. When you're out in the world, it doesn't fucking matter. You can get by with whatever pet you want, right? Titan obviously makes sense for leveling content because it gives you a safety net. But, balance isn't a huge deal, right? Which is what I assume this would be if it was intentional. That it's got something to do with balance. But I honestly don't know what that would be. Is encouraging you to use Titan in a context that's not in a group content context too powerful? But it feels like if you're in a group, you'd never sacrifice the damage. You'd never choose Titan because of the damage anyway. So not giving further ruin on the shell or on earthen armor would just further hamstring it for no reason. Creates a barrier around you that absorbs damage totaling 30% of your maximum HP. So it gives you a shield. Well, that's what it does at the moment. Right? The thing is that Enhanced Ruin does not proc off this ability. That's amazing. That has to be a technical limitation. I really hope that's not intentional. Because that is fucking stupid. Yeah, and I can't find any explanation other than player speculation about the reason. So that has to be a technical limitation. For some reason, they must not be able to proc the, or they must not be able to give you the proc on a defensive ability. Which, if that is true and a technical limitation, that is also fucking stupid. It might have broken something or allowed some exploit. How? You can't even... I don't think you can even use this. Yeah, it can only be executed while in combat. The devs tend to not explain shit when it's like that. Fuck me. Ugh. That's gonna be frustrating to deal with. Nerian Imperial in sight. That's a mercy. Alagana's due east, past that bridge. Follow me. It's not much further. I really dislike it that that's just the way it is, explanations for stuff like this. Cause if you play with Titan, you don't get, like, if you level with Titan, you do not get a level 62 ability. Like, the level 62 ability does not work with one of the pets. How is that excusable? Man. Whoa. I understand why Titan is a meme now, but sword goes spinny, yeah. Big axe send wave of fire. Fell cleave go burr. Well, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Fell cleave go. That was a bit loud. I think that was a bit loud. Hang on a second. I actually want to see how loud that is on my meter. So, fell cleave go. Okay, it's not that loud, but I think it's loud for me just because I've got my headphones really high. The only reason I know about that is I was watching a video by someone talking about people explaining why they play classes, and the overwhelming response from warriors was basically a clip of that sound. Which had me fucking dying. Zeppler, yeah. She's so cute. I love her so much. Yeah, I'm still getting kind of the feel of her content, but yeah, she seems pretty genuine and cool. You can rest easy. We made it. This is Alagana. It's strange coming home like this. Always imagined it would be. Oh, sorry. That has nothing to do with why we're here. We need recruits. Aye, we do. But as I said back at the Reach, it's a little more complicated than just asking for volunteers these days. As you know, we're short-handed because many of our people were taken in by the Griffin's promises and went to the wall, never to return. It wasn't just them, though. Folks from all over, including some of my former comrades, answered his call to arms. As for why we came to this particular village, it's rumoured that Alagana lost a few youths as well. If there's truth to that, then there could be others sympathetic to the cause. Then again, after the Griffin's betrayal, they may be suspicious of outsiders claiming allegiance to the Resistance, and rightfully so. So with all that in mind, how are we supposed to convince them to join? I mean, I knew it wouldn't be as simple as giving a speech in the village square. Not if you didn't want the place to be burnt to the ground, no. You might as well piss in the Viceroy's eye. We'll need to be a good deal more circumspect than that. Circumspect. Wary and unwilling to take risks.
Circumspect.
From what I searched, Titan is just meant to be for safety protection, while Ifrit is the best for single target and Garuda's for multi. Titan's edgy shtick is the shield you can cast. That is really good protection for a caster. That's fine. So why hamstring it if that's the case? Like, it's already balanced in a way that it's not going to be good for single target or multi-target. It's going to be your safety. But why? That doesn't answer my question, and I understand that's the case, right? The Titan is meant to be your tank. In that it gives you the ability, the indirect ability to tank, I guess. But there's just no reason to not give further further ruin on that ability. Like, there's just none. The pet is just worse, and it was already worse for damage, because that's not what it's designed for. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, where the fuck is my mouse gone? There. We must speak with the Elder first. I know for a fact he can be trusted. We'll listen to what he has to say and decide what to do after. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope there are still some brave men and women here willing to fight. Okay. Is this a... Yeah, this is. Okay. I'm probably going to wrap up the first bit of the stream here. Like I said, I want to get a bit of exercise in and cook as well. So I have my lunches set out for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so I'll be back 2-ish hours, I think. Something like that. Found this on Reddit. The English tooltips for the edgy assault traits are badly written, and in this case, basically just wrong. The Japanese tooltip explicitly states something to the effect of hitting an enemy with an edgy assault action to proc the Ruin 4. I understand that. I did see that myself, but that's not my question. Like, I'm not trying to understand that it is the case that you can't get it. I'm trying to understand why, and that does not answer that. Like, the translation issues aside, the Japanese text explicitly says that you have to deal damage to an enemy to get it. Which reads to me like a technical limitation. That for some reason, they cannot make the ability proc on a button press. Sorry. They can't give you the ability on the execution of that action, but there has to be some other thing to it. Like, it can't just be that the thing casts. And in fact, the way that Garuda can sometimes cancel its abilities, you sure that's not for any edgy? What do you mean? Sorry, can you clarify what you mean by that? No, that it works. So from what I understand, there's another ability later on. Yeah, Enhanced Edgy Assault. This will give you it on Edgy Assault 2. And from what people have said on forums and that, it looks like Mountain Buster, the Edgy Assault 2 for Titan, does allow you to get it. So it would seem like they're able to get it from damage-dealing abilities. Now, the thing is that Ifrit and Garuda's Assault 1 are damage-dealing abilities, so they can still do it. For some reason, for a defensive ability, they can't give you that. Like, I want to be clear that I think this is really silly if it was deliberate. However, I don't think it is deliberate. I feel like it is a design limitation. But I would similarly say that if that's the case, then that's busted. You should fix that. There's literally no reason it shouldn't. And in fact, enabling it to use it on that, They've changed the levels you obtain buttons. This could be a case of getting this button earlier than previously. So what? Like, if you got this at 80, it wouldn't matter. It just wouldn't work with earthen armor. That doesn't change anything. I keep reading that Mountain Buster provides further ruin. Yeah, because enhanced Edgy Assault makes you get further ruin from Edgy Assault 2. We currently don't have that, right? The only thing we can get further ruin from at the moment is Edgy Assault 1, which for Titan is a defensive ability, which apparently cannot give it. Like Newest Girl, this isn't an issue of, oh, the abilities were mixed up or anything. It's just not going to work either way. Like, if you get this at 80, it still means that Titan is not going to get it off one of its buttons. Yeah, like that has to be a technical limitation. There's no way that was intended. But it seems really silly that the ability is procced specifically off damage dealing when, like, that seems silly to design it around that in the first place. Like, that's just a weird constraint to have on your for something like a proc like that. Like, the one thing I could see is, like I said before, I've noticed that Garuda can, I mean, it is an offensive class. What do you mean? Like, yeah, it is. You're not going to be using Titan in group content or anywhere where balance matters, but that doesn't mean you deliberately sabotage the pet. Like tying the proc onto defense, into offense. So just don't tie it to that. Like, what I'm saying is, I don't think they said, okay, for enhanced, or to proc further ruin, you need to hit an enemy, right? If it's just further ruin that is constrained by this, just undo that, because that's dumb, right? There has to be some other limitation there where, in fact, I could believe Valk's explanation that there might have been an exploit, in that, but that would more happen for Garuda, because Garuda's the only one that has like a, oh no, okay. Actually, you can use Titan in group content for survival exclusively sometimes. Yeah, but I mean no, like. You can use it as a clutch move, but that's not how the spec is. Oh, sorry, the job is designed. Like, it's designed to deal damage. It's going to be designed around that. You're not going to be using Titan in that context, right? And the shield you get is based off your HP, and Tank's HP is like massive compared to yours. So like you're gonna take like a single swing from a boss, and it's going to eat through it entirely. The only other situation is that you could use it to kind of ease up on healers to give you an extra layer of defense. But at the same time, like, 30% HP is not... I'd assume Titan Edgy would die in 1 to 2 autos from a boss. Yeah, and you died 1 to 2 autos from a boss too. The shell will give you, like, maybe 1 more auto. That's about it. Do you think that keeping it off that pet button prevents people from trying to use it in group content? It's an emergency thing, but I've seen people using it in raids. Yeah, like, I could see that. Like, when... like, the one circumstance I can think of right off the top of my head is that you're doing an ad phase that deals, like, a lot of... oh, sorry, hit the mic. That deals, a lot of raid-wide damage over time. And the damage isn't that much of a requirement because people just beat it up. So you use an instant ability to be able to get into combat and then use the shell to kind of mitigate damage, right? You could pull him out for a big transition AoE hit. Yeah, exactly. The problem is you need to be in combat though, so Like, trying to prevent it from being a strategy to cover tank swap stuff. So, but if that was a problem, you would not target this mechanic. You would target this specifically, right? If the shell was too powerful, you just change how the shell works. You don't kneecap a mechanic that doesn't add to the defensive value. Like in the case that you're using this for defense in group content, the fact that you don't get damage from that is not going to be an issue. Or the fact that you do get damage from that is not going to be an issue. But if they target that specifically, they could gimp leveling content. Well, yeah, and they well, no, I refuse to believe that. I don't buy that at all. You're in combat for transitions. Okay, so you can just hit it. Okay. Yeah, I guess you'd be considered in combat with a boss the whole time. I don't know, I'm just speculating. Oh, that's fine. But I'm just saying that, like, I don't think that's a legit concern. Like, I can't even think of a circumstance where you could exploit that, right? Like, because the one thing that I could, yeah, sorry, I was a little bit intense with that newest girl. I apologize. That was probably a bit much. Sorry, I'm like trying to think of ways to express this and still processing the thought process behind this at the same time. So I'm like all over the bloody place. The one thing I could understand is one of the things I've noticed with Garuda, for example, is that you can hit the command. It tries to go to cast it, which takes some time because it's a ranged ability. And can sometimes fail to cast it because of line of sight or something like that. It's a unique thing to specifically ranged abilities that Ifrit doesn't have, right? That was practical. Sweet in comparison to the hate I get sometimes. That doesn't excuse being a little bit too intense for what you were saying in terms of speculation. Like, other people are trash. Other people are fucking assholes. That doesn't mean I can be kind of an asshole. So yeah, I've noticed that, right? And I do notice that Earthen Armor is a ranged ability. So, in some circumstances, I could see that you, depending on the implementation, you could end up with this being exploited where you hit the button and get the buff, but Titan doesn't actually cast the shell, so then it doesn't trigger the cooldown, but you still get the proc. Which means you can, if you line of sight Titan enough, then you can get, like, stacks on demand, right? The thing is that you just tie it to the cast going off. Like, why is it tied to damage being dealt? I don't know. Anyway. Useless speculation, and yeah. I'm just sour because I would use Titan out in leveling content and stuff like that, and I feel like having this ability for leveling content is really neat. I feel like it's not good enough to justify anything like this. Not that that would be a good approach to nerf it anyway. But anyway. Yeah, so gonna take a break. I'll be back in like 2.5 hours or something like that. One thing for the weekend crowd. Next weekend, actually, I should explain what's going to happen. I should explain now while, like, Dis and Newest Girl are here, just in case they're not later on. So what I'm going to be doing this week is I'm going to stream 14 Monday and Tuesday. My sub ends, I think, on Thursday. But I'm going to take the rest of the week off streaming, because on the weekend, I'm going to be doing my League Start Path of Exile stream, which is basically 10 hours back-to-back of Path of Exile from like 6 in the morning. So, kind of want to give myself a good... like, it's basically going to take up my entire weekend, and I'm not going to do much else outside of that, so, like, I feel like I should give myself a break during the week. I don't know when I'm going to be back to streaming FF14 as much as this after my sub ends up, because I might be playing like a lot of Path of Exile depending on how much I enjoy Heist, which is the League mechanic this time around. So yeah, big long stream, but unfortunately probably not FF14, and there may not be FF14 for a couple of weeks after I finish up on Tuesday. But I will be back to it at some point. I've just got to figure out how much time I'm actually going to spend in Path of Exile first. So, yeah. I'm going to be back in about 2 hours or so, fed and, exercised. It's a really nice day out, and I want to get some sun. So yeah. That's what's happening in the coming weeks. I'm going to hit the schedule to make sure that's, yeah, I should get to bed. Yeah, no worries, Diz. Thanks for hanging out, and have a good night. Yeah, I'm going to update the schedule once I figure out what I'm going to actually do from a time basis, but, yeah. So, thank you very much for watching, live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll have a lovely day, and hope to see you soon.